Hey, it's Dusty Thunder. I have a story for you. From the AITA subreddit. This one is titled, Will I Be the Astronaut If I Back Out of Helping My Sister Pay for a Car Because She Went and Got a $65,000 Jeep instead of what we originally agreed on? My sister, 18 female, is starting college this fall. She doesn't have a car, but will need one because she'll be commuting to school while living at home. At the beginning of the year, I, 27 male, told her that I'd help her pay for a car as a graduation gift, and I'd pay for the first $5,000 of her monthly payments. She has an almost full ride scholarship and is living at home, so this will probably be her only recurring bill outside of school fees and supplies. I did this so that when she started working, she could build as much of a savings net as possible if something came up. My parents, my sister, and I originally agreed on a max of $25,000 to $30,000. The car isn't meant to last her a decade. She's never owned a car before. This is her baby's first car. It's supposed to be an affordable used car for a college kid to get around in. It should last her for college, and then she can figure out what to do from there. Well, I was lied to because she and my parents went out and bought a brand new Jeep yesterday. I am livid. My parents co-signed for her to get this. Not only did they buy a $65,000 brand new car, they financed a $10,000 down payment at an even higher APR for some reason. They like double financed it, financed the down payment and then financed the car with that down. Okay. I've never heard of that. For some insight, my parents cannot afford this car themselves, and they can't even afford the new payments on the loan they got for the $10,000. There's the reason I'm the one helping out with the payments on this, not them. My sister doesn't even have a job yet, which was supposed to be step one before we even got her the car. I'm livid. The $5,000 I had set aside for her won't even last the summer if we put it towards the car and loan payments. The whole reason I did this is now basically moot because she'll have to cover the payments while she's in school. You know, it's moot. It's a cow's opinion. You can't not say it when you see that word. You can't. You know this. My parents have good credit somehow, but they have zero cash at the end of each month. So I'm pretty sure once my $5,000 runs dry, the car will be repoed for non-payment in the next year or so. What boils my blood even more is they know I'm livid, but they don't care. Mom went on a whole hour about how my sister's eyes light up at the side of the car. And you would not have said no either if you were there. I'm a red flag on that. We had talked about this for months. My sister and parents both know 100% that she will not be able to afford this car, but they don't care now. I'm considering backing out. I'll tell them to return the car, and we return to the original plan, or else I'll just invest the $5,000 in a 5-year bond for my sister. I want some opinions on this plan. Here's an edit real quick. Quick clarification. My gift to her was a total of $5,000 that was to be used for monthly payments. The way I worded it was weird, I think, originally. I did not promise to help with the down payment or anything else fee related. She had savings to cover that. I was going to pay the first $5,000 of monthly payments after that. Edit to an update. I'm going to go ahead and get into this now. Some people are asking why the original car purchase price we decided of $25,000 to $30,000 was so high. I agree that's pretty high for an unemployed college kid. That was meant to be an absolute max that you need to think very carefully about, total fees included. I was encouraging them to go for $10,000 to $15,000, but was talked up to a $25,000 to $30,000 max. I also just got confirmation that the Jeep deal was finalized yesterday. There's no returning the Jeep. I was mistaken about how used versus new cars are treated with cool down period laws. She and my parents are screwed. Thanks for the advice so far. Got to think this over tonight and figure out how much of this circus I want to be a part of. She and the parents. So when you read the title and you're like, wow, why would the sister do that? The parents really facilitated all this buggery, whatever you want to call it. They facilitated all this. The parents are the real problem here. If the parents are like, well, you can get the Jeep if you want it, what kid is going to be like, nah? Them saying you wouldn't have said no to her either because of the way her eyes lit up. Well, shit, take her to a Porsche dealership. Her eyes will light up there too. Does that mean you're going to buy one? Your parents are powerless because this is their baby, and they will knowingly drive themselves into poverty to make her smile. And while it's a noble sentiment, the practicality of it just doesn't exist. And now they're trying to drag you down with them. OP. I'd say shit, no, back out. Now, to clarify, what you mean when you say back out is not like, I'm just keeping the $5,000. No, you're still setting it aside and putting it in a 5-year bond for her that she'll get in 5 years. You're not taking it away from her. You're parlaying that or deferring it to a later time when she surgically removes her head from her ass, which is only going to happen when she gets away from your parents. I think it's kind of like a lot of things are like this. I use this analogy when talking about being a photographer and growing as a photographer, but it really applies to any skill set. It's like becoming like a swordsman, right? They don't give you the nice, fancy, bougie, pointy, sharp sword to start with. They give you a stick. As a driver, you need to start with the stick, and you can grow from that as you want to. But this, if anything, they're putting more risk, not just the financial risk that they've assumed themselves, but they've now put a $65,000 vehicle on the road that they probably can't afford to fully insure, and inevitably something's going to happen at some point, and they're not going to be able to fix it, and then they're in a whole other bucket of trouble. So no, do not go down with them. I'm saying this is an NTA. Would not be the asking for backing out. It is a complete deviation from what you talked about. And you, if you continued participating here, would just be funding more risk and funding the wrong direction of your sister's life when your original intention with the gift was to fund the right direction, fund a direction that is of safety and security. And you would only be funding fuel for the opposite direction right now. You're going to have to explain that. And I feel like you probably already have, but you're going to have to keep explaining it, because over time, if they're not hearing that message, you're just going to be the villain. And then when shit gets taken away, it's probably going to be your fault, according to them. So I would keep seeding that narrative often, and they're going to hate you for repeating it, but you're going to have to repeat it. Oof.